Hi again, I'm back. Let's get back into this part 2 of the shooting. Sorry, I was kind of sick this week. My throat's been out of it, but it's back now. So I've set up a little bit of a demo here, and we'll do full auto first, and then we'll go on to grenades, blast weapons, area effect weapons like flamethrowers. All right, so let's get going. All right, so what I have over here is I've changed out to Sergeant Black is what I've named him in the demos that we've done, and so he's been in every game, and with some of the cultists. And all right, so when we're firing full auto, we are deciding to let loose with all the shooting, and so for this, we are my example of Sergeant Black, and I've given him a full auto gun. And the full auto gun, it will allow him to be able to shoot everybody in this group if he shoots full auto. So for doing that, the auto gun is what we're doing for full auto. I'll bring up the sheet here. So it's a basic weapon, so it's like a rifle or carbine. It has a range of C and the single, or you can shoot semi up to 4 shots, or you can go full auto at 10 shots, and then the damage right there is 2d6 plus 2. He has 30 shots, and it takes him 2 rounds to reload the clip, and it weighs 30. So for him, he has a basic Imperial Guard's ballistic skill of 75. So going with that, and knowing that he is going to shoot this group, we need to go through what's he got to do. Well, one, it has to be within his fire arc. So I've put down here, let me see, yeah. All right, so if you look at the 45 degree, everybody has to be within his fire arc. So that's about there and out to here. So that means everybody in this group that he's targeting is within his fire arc. So he can choose to shoot at this group of 4 guys. And then you got to figure out the range modifier, and you measure to the furthest back. And that would be, furthest back would be the Megas back here, and that's at about 11.5 inches. So it's over the 10-inch mark, so he loses 10 off his firing. His range modifier is -10. So what we then do is a bunch of math, and hopefully this gets easier with time as you do this. But basically, you're going to be taking the character's BS, and you're going to modify that by the number of shot, by the range. Then what you're going to do is take that total, so it's 65. So the range modifier is -10, so he has 65 now. You're going to divide that by the amount of shots he's shooting, and this weapon, the auto gun, is 10 shots. So on full automatic, fully auto. So at full auto, it's going to be 65 divided by 10, and then multiply it by the number of targets. And there's 4 people here. Let's go ahead and put some markers down just so we know who is who. Player 1, target 1, target 2, and we'll go ahead and call him back here target 3 and target 4. So now we know how many people are there. So doing the math, it comes out to 65 divided by 10 times 4, which is a little nuts, is 26. So 26 for 10 shots. So if we take a scrap piece of paper here, put it down here where we can see it in the camera, and put shots, and we got 10, and we have a 26% chance to hit each one. All right, so then we're going to just mark down our 6 or 10, or we're going to roll for our shots. We don't worry about who we're hitting yet. We're just rolling to see how many shots hit. So if we roll for each shot, that is a 16. So, well, let's just make a little thing here. Hit, misses. So a 16 on the first roll I have here is a hit. So he has one hit. One. And 68 is a miss. And this 47 is a miss. 91 is a miss. 5 is a hit. An 8 is a hit. So we're up to 6 now. And an 85 is a miss. And 19 is a hit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 8. We got 2 more shots. An 84 misses. And a 90 or a, yeah, a 92 misses as well. So we got 4 hits. Now we allocate randomly, whoever you want to do that, we randomly allocate those hits. And luckily I have a 4-sided dice right here. That'll be the easiest way for me to do it. So we're just going to randomize those 4 hits. So the first hit is going to go to player 3. And the second hit is going to go to player number 2. And the third hit is going to go player number 3. As you can see, somebody might not get any shots, and somebody might get more than 1 shot. And player 4 got the last hit. So there's 3 hits. This guy did not get shot at, so he is going to go ahead and he still has to take a pinning test since the group got shot. But the Megas got 2 hits, and these 2 other guys got 1 hit each. That's how the shots worked out. And that's how you work out where the shots went and the potential targets. Now then we would go into that and determine how many times where he got hit, minus his armor and all that for each shot. We would just work through each of these shots just like we had already done in the other video talking about the hits. So we would just roll for the hit. The other way to do this is, let's say the Megas wasn't there. He's not in there. We'll take we'll leave this for player 3, and say the targets were spread out more. What would you do at that point when there's more than, everybody has to be within 5 yards of each for him to go ahead and do full auto? So if we scoosh this guy out with the multi-melta out further, so he's all the way back here, and we only have 4 targets, so these guys are nice within range, but he's way over here, but he could still be in the same group. He's outside of 5 inches by about a ½ inch. But we can go ahead and do the same bit by saying, okay, he's going to shoot at the space in between. So some of those shots are going to go nowhere. Let's go ahead and get rid of the shots from the last time that we did this, and then do the same bit of math. So it's going to be the his skill. We're going to measure to the furthest back, and that works out to be 13. So it doesn't cross over into the next worst. So it's still the 65. So the 65 divided by the 10, and a potential targets is 4 targets. Again, it's still 26 because this target is a null. Well, yes, the target is a null. He's just shooting at that space to try to possibly spread it out, because it's going to be spread out. So we'll see what happens. So the potential of there, let's go ahead and get rid of these hits and misses. And we have 26 shots. And so we'll go ahead and do the same thing again. So a miss, a miss, a miss, A miss. This guy's shooting like a stormtrooper, right? 55 is a miss. 16 is a hit. 19 is a hit. So where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get rid of that and call it that. 5, 6, 7. This is 8th. 9th is a 12. 9 is a hit. And the 10th shot is a 63 is a miss. All right, so he had three shots that actually hit. And so again, we skipped. He had to roll for that space, counting as a target. So now, when we do the deciding where the 3 hit, we're going to be rolling. And so 1 goes to that guy, 1 goes to that guy, and 1 goes to that guy. But if I would have rolled a 3, it would have gone to nowhere. It would have wasted shot, but it would have allowed him to spread it over the whole group potentially. That's how that works. Alright, so the next bit would be flame weapons. And flame weapons are a little bit different, in which you don't really worry about, I mean, the targets still need to be in a group, but you don't need to worry about particular randomizing. What happens here, and I'll throw up the little table, you only can fire, and I switched out for the squat here. He has this like plasma weapon, but it's gonna be a hand flamer. So if he has a hand flamer and everybody's within his target angle here, he can go ahead and shoot at the group. Now you only can make a flame attack with the hand flamer if he's walking or if he's stationary. And then the procedure is kind of the same as auto, but different. Well, I guess same but different. It's a lot of 40K stuff. Anyhow, basically, if your targets are running, or fast stationary targets are easier to hit with the flamer than a fast moving target. So if we say, everybody here is walking towards the squat, except for the Magus, and we'll have him running, and we'll just give him a little tag that's, he's running, and maybe he's running, somewhere else. In any case, if these were all walking, all you're really going to do is, the basic chance is your firers BS divided by the number of targets in the group. And that's it. So it's harder to hit things if they're running, of course, because you're going to, and we'll go into, if you look at that table, the number of hits we're going to have to make to those is different. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out with the calculator, and we know his ballistic skill is 75. And on the flamers, let's throw up that chart there for the flamers. The flamers in their brackets for range will just show the maximum that they can go, and a hand flamer is 15 inches. So we'll double check this and see if everybody's within range, and right about 12 for those guys. Everybody else is closer, so everybody's within the 15 inches for the hand flamer to shoot. And it's spread just like where we can see the 45 degrees. And let's see here. Okay, so it's going to be just the 75 divided by the 4 targets, and equals 18.75. So that makes it 18. There's an 18% chance to hit this group. All right, I'll throw up this other table. So we got an 18.75. We'll round that to 19 because that's nice. And then we'll figure out how many times you can hit. So all these guys are walking, and according to that, it's a D3 plus 1 for each one of these targets is how many they're going to get hit. So the first guy will be D3 plus 1. So it's going to be 2. D3 plus 1. So it's 5, or no, it's a D3, so that's 3. So it's going to be 4 on that guy. And the other guy who was walking was this guy, so D3 plus 1. So it's going to be a 2 and a 3 with the plus 1. And the other guy, we say the Magus, we said he was running. So he's running, it's just a straight D3. So 4 would be just a 2. So he gets hit twice. And then it's the same process as we did before with the auto gun. We're going to roll for each chance to hit on each one of these. So he's going to get 2 chances to hit, 4 times the chances to hit this guy, 2 times there and 3 times there. And that's it. We would just roll to get under our 19. So that's how the area effect weapons work. Essentially, again, it's you need to be 5 meters apart or closer and to be counted as a group, and you're spreading it out over the course of the whole group. Now, if they're running, if they were prone, of course you see on the list. If they're sprinting, they only get attacked once. So it's just really random. These weapons are, if you even look, the hand flamer, if you do get hit, it's 2d6, and then you're going to be on fire. So it could be really nasty. And that is that. All right, so the last bit we have is blast weapons. So blast weapons, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need the deviation die, and let's get rid of that. And so on blast weapons, you can be grenades, rocket launchers, some kind of bomb, anything like that. And what you're going to do with that is you're going to designate a target point. So if you look at him, he's got a couple grenades on him, and I've always given him grenades in the game. So he's got a couple grenades, and so the grenades will have their of course the range on the grenade is an E, and I can bring up that chart. And all right, so with a grenade, it's a thrown blast weapon. So we're kind of taking doing 2 things at once here, two birds with 1 stone, or 1 die roll as far as that goes, or 2 birds with 1 grenade. Either way you want to look at it. Basically, you're going to throw. He's going to throw it at this group. He's going to nominate a target point. It is an E, so if you really get out there, it's going to have negatives on it. So he's going to throw it to a point. You can designate a thing, a piece of terrain, or anything. So he's going to throw it right into the middle of this group. And what we're going to do is it's his strength minus the grenade's weight. So if we double check the chart for the grenade, let's say he has a plasma grenade, and here's the grenade chart, and we're going to do a plasma grenade, which is weight 8. If we said his strength was, say, 50, well, he's a squat. Let's make him a little stronger. We'll make him 60, and then so it's going to be minus 8 off the 60. So he can throw it really far. So we don't really need to worry about how far he can throw it. And then you're going to draw the line of sight. A grenade is a risky action, so we have to decide to do that. So what he's going to do is pull the pin. He's going to pull the grenade, pull the pin. He's going to say stop right there, and he's going to throw a grenade. So he has 4 actions, and if he got any 1s more than 6s, he would have had a risky action. We have to go to this other table, which it could just blow up at his feet. But he got no 1s, so we're good there. So then it's just the target to hit, and he's just going to throw that grenade, and hope he doesn't blow himself up. And now it's just rolling to hit on it, and then that's just to hit the target. And so he's well within his range, and so it's just a BS, and we'll give him the same as the guardsman had, which was a 75, and he got a 12. He hits. If he would have missed, it's going to deviate from the target point. It's going to scatter D10 yards. For every yard minus the 10% of the target, it's failed by is how far it's going to scatter. But it can no more than a quarter of the range of the target point to begin with. So it's not going to deviate that far since he's so close to the target. All right, so now that we have the target location and it was a hit, we look at the plasma, and the plasma has an area. You'll notice that there's some different stats for grenades or blasts, explosives, and there'll be an area and a blast, and the area is the distance from the aiming point and how far the blast extends. Any character within the blast area automatically suffers the number of hits equal to the blast value. So, and then the yeah, if they're prone, it's halved. So with this that I did, I showed her, he shouldn't have thrown the frag or the plasma. But we get two of these guys. He is just, we'll say just in. He's actually, he's out. He's in. He's in. He's way out. So these guys get hit. These two front guys get hit with the plasma. If it would have moved a little bit, it would have been better, but it didn't. That's okay. So with the plasma, and then so the next roll we worry about after it's the blast value again on the plasma grenade. The blast is 6. So that's they get that number of hits equal to the blast value, and so the character is minus the distance from the blast. So the number of hits equal to the blast value minus the character's distance from the center of the blast. So these guys, so it's a 6. So if it was right on his lap, it'd be a 6. These guys are just at 2 inches, we'll say. Just at 2 inches, yeah. So just at 2 inches, so it's minus 2. So the 6 goes down to a 4. So they would get 4. The blast value would be 4 at that point. Well, 4 that's how many hits, which is, so he gets hit. They both get hit 4 times, and so the total number, if anybody is prone, the total number would have been halved. And the whole group has to go to ground because there's a grenade that just went off in their faces, basically. So you just roll the damage. 4 times. Oh, we don't need to do that. They got hit 4 times, and the damage on the plasma is 3d10. Let me see if I can find another 10 here. So I got 3d10 right there. So 15, 20 points damage from the first one, and that would just be 1. You know, so he's going to take a lot, and that's in each one of those you're going to roll for a hit location on that. So it makes grenades at close range quite deadly. Okay, I think the only other things I had to worry about on the shooting stuff, or part 2 of the shooting stuff, would be like if you're throwing knives or axes or anything like that. So throwing weapons are resolved exactly like any other shooting, except for the character can draw and throw it as with the free hand as a single action. So if the character has normally a one hand that's always free, they can grab and throw their ranged weapon, whether it's an axe or a throwing knives or anything like that. So they have a maximum range of half the character's strength minus the weapon's weight, and then it's just figuring out where your target is, and then if you hit them, just like anything else, you were going to shoot, like you were shooting. We covered the grenades, and they're basically a throw and blast weapon. It's half their strength minus their weight in yards, which is what I got wrong over there with his half his. I didn't do half his strength when I did it already with his strength, but that doesn't matter because he was way closer than what he needed to be. But it's half your strength minus the weight. Sorry. And then the grenades, of course, being thrown is a risky action. If you roll more 1s and 6s in your actions for that turn, then yeah, you're gonna roll on this little table that says bad things are gonna happen. Let me see. So then you're just gonna roll, and you're gonna figure out what the maximum range was. And if your target was outside that maximum range, so if its target was way outside, you're just gonna bring that target point back along the distances until it hits the maximum distance that he could have thrown. Say he was really, really weak, and the weight of that was 8, and he had, his strength was only 35 instead of what we said was I think 60. so we divide his strength and by 35, and then minus the 8, we would get like 9 inches. So I mean, he could easily not, oh, that guy's farther than 9 inches, so we have to back this up till he's within that 9 inches, and that's where the grenade would hit and deviate from there. If he was, to miss, and it would just deviate from there, but his target point can't be there if he can't actually throw to there. Well, he could, but it's gonna come up short because it's just too big for him to throw, or too heavy. The other thing was indirect fire. So if there was a building in the way, say, and he was going to throw or attack somebody on the other side of that. So if he's over here and he's trying to attack somebody on the other side, the DM really needs to be focused on whether or not it's reasonable for him to know that there's something over there. Now, you could have had an Auspex or something, or some other device to let him know, or these guys over here are just really noisy, and that would allow, somebody's over there, and I can hear them walking, and so then if there's a reason for it. And then you're going to do it just like a normal thrown blast weapon, except that the shot automatically scatters. You're automatically going to scatter this with the D10 automatically, just because you can't really see the target. You could get lucky and hit them, but yeah, no. You're going to roll to hit just like you normally would, but you're going to add 10% if you failed. You're going to add 1 inch for every 10% if you failed. If you hit, you're gonna do the opposite. So you're gonna take it to 0, basically, the die roll. So if you would have hit and you only missed it by, or if you succeeded by 10%, it's going to be a +1 to this roll. That should be it. Otherwise, so you can treat it as anything that goes into the negative. Of course, this counts as a 0 scatter. That should be it. Now, something is not going to scatter through a wall. It's not going to scatter into a building that has no way to get in the building. It might hit that wall and stop there. It's up to the DMP out at that point to decide what happens to that thing that scatters. In the game at the tournament, they had thrown something that scattered, a grenade. I believe it was grenade. It was a bomb, and it fell and bounced and deviated into the Imperial lab in that. But I had it blow up on the outside of the building. Otherwise, I think that's where we are. All right, that's kind of it for shooting indirect fire. We can look at the weapon summary again, the shooting summary. So we're going to have the line of sight and hitting the target and all the hit modifiers and all that stuff. So I'll show that again. And basically, this is that's it for shooting. The next will be close combat, which will be probably, I'm not going to split it. It's just going to be a longer video, and I'll have to come up with what characters I'll use for that, and make sure I have their stats and everything, and so we can do the back and forth and the jousting more or less. That's it. Thanks for watching.